And action. So, I'm single.
And I'm not.
She's in a relationship.
And she's not. But is that a bad thing?
Is being in a relationship a good thing?
Hey friends.
Hey family.
It's your homegirls, Allie.
And Court.
The real Allie and Court.
And we're here to give you the real.
So today we are discussing singleness.
And relationshipness. I don't even know what to call it. I don't know what to call it.
So we are gonna just have a little dialogue, a little living room conversation.
Okay.
And answer the questions about the other person's relationship status and some topics and some feelings that come up within each.
Love it. So let's get juicy. I have a question.
What's your question?
What's your question, sis? A lot of people in relationships, they have this issue with this, or they don't know how to necessarily feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about getting advice from others about your relationship and from your friends? Because I feel like when you're dating, when you're single, it's easy to, you always have that friend, like you darn near know everything that's going on about every guy or every other girl that you you talk to. They know the ins and outs. But when you're in a relationship, it becomes a little bit more confidential. So what do you think about getting advice from other people?
That's a good question. I can say that in my last relationship, I asked a lot of advice from my friends that have been in relationships longer, and that's because I was also trying to figure out like how to navigate it. But now that I feel more confident and comfortable in it, I don't do it as much. But basically, as far as advice, it depends on the situation. I like to keep our relationship kind of confidential because I don't want it to ever be a time where in the moment I say Isaiah did such and such and such, and then I come back and they have like this image of him based on what I said about it, even though that was in a moment. But also I feel like nobody knows our relationship the way that we know it. Nobody knows how we are in our relationship with each other like daily. But sometimes I feel like it's hard for me to see his perspective, so asking somebody else helps me better understand and figure out how to come up with a solution.
So it is in moderation with certain things and with people that are sound or trustworthy. You feel like getting advice can aid you, not be your law, but aid you in thinking through certain things.
Now, before, it definitely led me to make some decisions I shouldn't have, and led me to think differently, and they're giving me advice based on how they are with their boyfriend, or they're not in a relationship at all. And I kind of had to recognize that and be able to be comfortable and trusting in my relationship so that the other ones didn't hinder it anyway.
Okay. That's good. Okay. That was good.
So my first question to you is, do you find yourself thinking about being in a relationship frequently?
I would say yes. And I don't necessarily think that's necessarily a good thing or necessarily a bad thing. But you know how when you get a certain age, people start saying, all right now, like your biological your clock ticking. And I don't necessarily think that, because I still think I'm young. I still think I'm learning. I still think that my husband is learning wherever he may be. Okay. But it kind of does, like, dang, so many other people have been in relationships and I haven't really. I've been in one, so it's just like, okay, all right, when is it coming? When is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? So that kind of plays in my mind. And then all of my friends, literally all of my friends are in relationships except for one. I just made a new friend and she's not in a relationship. But Allie, you can attest to this. When we hang out, it be the bro, my friend, and me. And it's a family affair all the time, you know what I'm saying? And they don't make it weird or anything like that, but it's always me and my friend and their boyfriend. It's always like that. So I think maybe also because of the environment that I'm in, it causes me to think that. But I would say yes, I do. And it's not necessarily intentional. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but Yeah.
Thank you for your transparency.
Hopefully my man like that. All right. So
Dad, if you out there.
Okay. So my question to you is, does it matter to you if your friends like your man? Has it ever mattered to you if your friends like your man?
It definitely has mattered. And other relationships, before I would even date that person, I'm asking this person, what you know about him, what you don't like about him. So I would say that didn't matter, 'cause I want us to be able to, like, we vibe. I want us to be able to vibe together.
Yeah.
I can say now, it's not an issue for me now because I don't think there's any friend of, if you don't like him, then you haven't told me, but that wouldn't change my mind about him in any way. But he pretty much gets along with all the friends that I have. I think ultimately it only matters if I like them. Now, if my friends are telling me things, and let's think about a hypothetical person for this sake, telling me things about who I'm talking to or who I'm dating that I need to look out for, then it's not so much as if they like him doesn't matter, so much of am I being blinded because I like him so much, and can they point those things out to me?
Okay, I like that.
The next question, how do you respond to why are you still single?
Because a man that findeth a woman findeth a good thing, and my good thing ain't found me yet.
Oh, sis, stop playing with him.
Can't. I really do say that though. I say it's because I feel like you can't force anything, and what's meant to be will ultimately be. So it's, it just takes time. You can't force something, and when you force it, it's never right. So it just hasn't happened. And not saying that I haven't met people, not saying that I haven't met some interesting and amazing people. It's just that we just didn't click, or it just didn't work out. It's not that anything's wrong with you or anything's wrong with me. We just weren't meant to be.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't know she was a poet.
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, my next question. How do you deal? Better deal with it. How do you deal with you guys having the opposite sex friends? Friends of the opposite sex.
Gotcha. So I can say,
Tell me.
Isaiah doesn't have any really opposite sex friends. I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
I know he has had some before our relationship, and the ones that he has now are either in the family basically or his family. Like Nudie, it's his cousin. So I haven't really had to navigate that too much. And all the other female friends that are his friends are ones that hang out with all of us. So I think of them more so like sisters, and that's my brother. That's opposite sex friends for me. Does that make sense? We're trusting of each other. So if there was something to come up, or like say when I'm in Florida and I'm hanging out with people like in a group, he always knows who I'm around. The people that are my friends, he has either talked to either on FaceTime or in person. And he's like, I trust you, and vice versa. So that hasn't been an issue. I think okay.
Take notes. Okay.
So in a previous episode, the picnic date, we talked about the difference between talking and dating, what that means. If you don't know what that means, go look at that video. But do you think it's okay to date multiple people at one time? Or when do you feel like it's not okay to do that anymore?
I think I feel like it don't take a lifetime to recognize sunshine. Common said that. And
you just keep putting out the gems, okay?
I feel as if you feel somebody, you're feeling them. And some people, and this is one thing that I've said multiple times, that I just came to this realization where you're like, it's just something not right, or maybe we have to, I don't really like when he touches me, or I don't really like when this happens. I don't like when he texts me all the time, or some people just may not like that. I don't mind, because I'm a communicator, so I like to talk. So it's like I don't like when he texts me all the time. It's just like, if I don't like when you touch me, if I don't like when you text me all the time, 9 times out of 10, you're just not, the vibe just isn't there. It's not anything with you, but so many times we try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and we don't want to hurt their feelings. So we just have to be honest with ourselves and realize that it's just not the vibe. To answer your question, do I think that it's okay to talk to date multiple people? I feel like if you're my interest, and I meet you today, and we start dating, we start talking, conversing, texting each other, we hang out and stuff. After us hanging out 1 or 2 times, 2 and 3 max, and I realize that I really am interested in you, and I don't want you to go anywhere. I feel like after 1, 2, 3 times, if I don't care if you go anywhere, or if I want you to stay around. You know that.
Yeah.
So if you don't care, what are we doing?
Okay. Now it's time to get a little serious.
Are we not already?
Are we ever? My next question is, do you think that it's okay to ask for a man's financial situation, status, while you're dating, before you get the title as his girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me more, sis. Tell me more.
The same way that I'm trying to inquire information to know if I want to be with you, I want to know, are you aware of your traumas? Do you have, healthy mechanisms to deal with when you're like frustrated and you need to communicate something? Have you ever had an STD? Have you ever, cheated on someone? Do you meditate? Stuff like, while I want to know that, I'm asking you those questions so I can, feel if this could possibly be a thing. Your financial thing is definitely a factor. I love to travel. I like nice things. I don't necessarily need to have a Birkin bag, Jordans, all that stuff. I like the shoes that I like. I like the bags that I like. No matter if it's $5 or $200. To do certain things in life, it looks a certain way. So if you're someone who just spends recklessly, or you don't know how to manage your money, then that's something that we need to discuss. We need to get into play.
And you can start working on it then.
Yeah, and we can start working on it then. But like, if you're completely against it and you feel like I'm invading your privacy, it's just like, so what are we gonna do? So you just the day you ask me to be your girlfriend, then you just automatically gonna change? No, it's all building up towards something. So yes, I definitely want to inquire. You can inquire me about yours. What's your credit score?
I agree with that 100%, because I knew his, okay? And I said, these are the steps we're going to take to get to the point that we need to be.
And same, even if he may be better than I, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's like, if you know more than I know, help me, baby, help me.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you believe that there is a difference between, this is a quick yes or no. Do you believe that there's a difference between getting to know each other, dating, and then being married?
Yeah.
Those are 3 separate entities. Okay. So when you're actually dating, y'all have the title,
Mm-hmm.
and you're always around each other, there could be things that you're starting to do, like cook, clean, all this stuff. He's going to work, he's doing the manly duties, whatever that may be. Where do you think those roll in? You stop being a girlfriend and you don't cross over into being a wife, so that he has something to look forward to, or so that you're not playing house or playing married.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get deep.
Okay, so the other day my Oma called, and we were talking on the phone, and she said, are you and Isaiah courting?
Yeah, that's the old folks term. Yeah.
And I've never heard that before. So when I talked to her a little bit, we kind of just was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, we're dating right now, whatever. I talked to my mom later, and she said that's when you're preparing for marriage. So that's like a different step from just being a boyfriend and girlfriend, and like, this is when you're preparing to be married. Mm-hmm. So I feel like once you're in that stage of preparation before marriage, you begin to do those things, because I also feel like as we are making sure that the person we're with is who we can see ourselves with long term, they're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I'm gonna cook sometimes. Yes, I'm gonna clean sometimes because, as your wife, these are the things. Like I'm gonna be able to take care of you too. So it's kind of like showing you that I am capable of it. Now, do I just wash his clothes? No. Do I clean the whole house by myself? No. We do it together. So for instance, if he's cooking, I'm gonna wash the dishes. If I'm cooking, he's gonna wash the dishes. And I feel like that's just preparation.
Do you feel like that's something, those habits though, are going to be something that you take over into your marriage where you do, or do you feel like there's a difference because when you do get married, that's something that you're going to take over completely?
I don't think that I would take it over completely just because we have a balance and we know, like, there's going to be days when I'm going to need him more, like, as far as helping around, then he's going to need me. There's going to be days that I'm going to have to pick up his pace. So for us to establish that now, that there's going to always be some type of balance. Will I wash his clothes more? Yeah, I might take on that role of washing the clothes just because it's easier to do it all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the biggest thing that will change will be finances and making those decisions together when we're married.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this is like, just like he's proving himself to me that he can be my husband, I'm proving that to him too.
Because you're in the courting stage.
I think so.
What do you think was different when you were in the dating stage?
I think that our mindset wasn't preparation for marriage.
Was it just getting to know each other?
I think so.
I think that's interesting.
And continuing to get to know each other on a deeper level. And like, okay, now we see forever. So now how do we prepare for that successfully? So that we don't get in that space where we're living together and married and we don't have some type of routine, some type of balance, some type of anything.
I think that's interesting because now there's a term circulating like dating to marry, which I think is dope because it's like,
and I think that's what courting is.
Yeah. So, but then it's just like but the way we're explaining it is that there's talking, dating, then courting.
And I'm thinking courting is dating to marry. I'm thinking that is one and the same.
That's not.
And then marriage.
So yeah, but even in our generation, like even the reason why, the way I asked the question, because I'm pretty sure when y'all were first dating, like now you have that mindset because you're already in the courting stage. But when you guys first started dating, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm dating to marry this man. It was more so, I'm just trying to see what it's like. And then as it ended up ending longer. But most people don't get into a relationship with that mindset of, I'm dating to possibly be with this man. They're like, I'm just trying it out, still trying it out, still trying it out, still trying it out, still trying it out. Okay, I think, maybe, I don't know, but I'm still trying it out. Oh, he asked me to marry him. I think I'm ready.
Oh, see? Yeah, I feel you.
Take notes, y'all. Serious. I think these are good notes. If you think they're good notes. Okay.
So, final question.
Okay.
What do you do to get to know yourself better? So, I know we talked about you thinking about being in a relationship, people asking why you're single, but like, what about you? What do you do to get to know yourself?
That's good. I think I know in order to get to know myself, I feel the same process that I go through to get to know someone else, same process I know, I have to go through that with myself. I have to ask myself, what is my favorite food? What do I like? These shouldn't be things that I should just be thinking about when someone else asks me, because then I have to figure something out and I may take on something that's not me. Just as interested as I am in getting to know someone else, I need to get to know me, because I can't answer you about me if I don't even know me. Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Wow.
Allie, I have one, not even a question, because I just want you to give our viewers, for the people who are in relationships, you've been in one for 3 years and you have been navigating through it well, you guys have been rolling with the punches. What would you say, what would be your advice to those that are entering a relationship, that are in a relationship, and what would be your top one advice that you would give them if you couldn't say anything else?
Let me turn and talk to y'all.
Get close, sis.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Okay, I'm gonna be right here.
I would say number one, communication.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody says it, but it really does make a difference. Don't go to bed upset. When something does come up, talk about it. One piece of communication, when you talked about you need to know for yourself your favorite color, your favorite da 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 da, you need to know how your partner likes to be loved, and that could be different from how you like to be loved. So that love languages book, me and Isaiah both read that, and we didn't do that until probably about a year ago. And my number one is acts of service, and his number one, we're still trying to figure out, but we think is words of affirmation. Communicate that with each other and saying, because it might be like they give you gifts all the time because they think that's how you like to be loved, or they tell you I love you all the time because they think that they are showing you love in your way, when in reality you would rather them go take your car to get it washed or something like that because that's how you feel loved. So communicate that with each other, and that will make your relationship stronger. So,
or they may like being touched.
And I don't, and I was gonna wait until we get off camera, but Courtney, stop touching me. What's your advice for those that are single and looking for a relationship, or those that would?
Hold on, one thing. Also, that book she's talking about, the 5 love languages, there's one for relationships, and there's also one for when you're single. Because my guy best friend David, he just got married to his wife, and I got them they had the single one, but I got them the relationship one so that they could read it together, about love languages and how to go about that. But yeah, the single one talks about friendships and families and stuff like that.
So when you bring the book to your boyfriend and tell him to read it, tell him all the boyfriends are reading it. It's the new thing.
All the boyfriends.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that would get him. I didn't think Isaiah would want to, but he read it and he enjoyed it and he got a lot from it, and he's glad that we read it together.
Okay.
So, what advice do you have for those that are either single and wanting a relationship, or those that are single and want to stay in their singleness, maybe not wanting to go into a relationship? What do you want to tell them?
I would say be okay with you, and learn you for you. Even if you decide to be single forever, if you don't desire to be in a relationship, or even if you do decide to be in a relationship later, learn you first. Because if you're someone in a relationship, I feel like you have to be able to be accommodating, and kind of like Alex said earlier, like be flexible and have that balance with each other. But you also don't want to lose yourself in their world. So if you are someone who completely hates the torture of animals, but they like going hunting, you guys but they feel disrespected when you don't want to go hunting with them. It's just like, I'm not about to enter into your world and compromise myself. I don't like doing that, so I won't do that. And you're able to stand firm in who you are. And if they don't like that, they're just not for you, and that is okay. But know who you are, so that there's a little bit of wiggle room, but not enough for you to compromise who you are and for you to look back and say, I hate who I've become. They're supposed to add to you, not take from you.
I like that.
And with that being said,
wait a second. I know she said one thing, but I have something else that I feel like I really need to give to you guys as far as advice. And that is to be kind. I know that's simple to say, but because that person is your person, sometimes you take for granted that they'll always be there, and hopefully they will, but maybe they won't. So just be kind to each other. Y'all will probably get in the most heated arguments that you get in with anybody else. They know all of your faults. They've seen you the maddest. They've probably seen you the saddest. They've seen you every aspect. So just be kind to each other. Even if you're mad at night, give them a kiss. Even if they're getting on your nerves, tell them you love them, because you do. And all those words that you're saying when you're mad, you don't really mean it. So I want to end on that. I want to say be kind.
Be kind, guys. Be kind to yourself as well. And with that being said, this is the end of our segment on relationshipness and singleness. Okay, so like, comment, subscribe. If you like this video, leave your thoughts below. We're definitely going to respond to you guys. We love responding to you all. And thank you for making it to the end of this video.
Yes. And if you have any advice for us or others that are either single or relationship, let us know. We can always learn from each other.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching. See you later, friends.
See you later, family. That was
cute.